You're 12, and the world you knew ends in a single afternoon. Traders arrive at your village, with their words smooth and their promises bright. They tell your parents you'll serve in a fine house, that you'll be taught music, manners, and grace. Your parents hesitate, but the coins are heavy, and hunger has already made its home in your kitchen. By nightfall, you're gone. Jackpot, right? Wrong. The journey is long, the days blur together, and when the gates of the palace open, you're pushed inside with other girls. The harem smells of rosewater, incense, and unfamiliar spices. The rooms are large, covered with carpets that swallow your footsteps. Women dressed in silk pass by without looking at you, their faces painted calm, and their voices low. You're told the rules quickly: silence, obedience, and no wandering beyond the walls. You are no longer yourself. You are now an odalisque, the lowest rank in the harem. You're 13 and training begins. Each morning you wake before dawn to sweep corridors, fetch water, and serve trays of food to women who barely glance at you. When your tasks are done, you're led to lessons. A stern Kalfa teaches you how to bow, how to pour coffee without spilling, how to walk with small, precise steps. Another drills you in the arts of music and poetry, reminding you that your voice must be as graceful as your hands. You are watched constantly and mistakes are not forgiven. You expect kindness. Instead, you get another chain. Spill a drink and you scrub the floors until your knees bleed. Forget a phrase and the rod finds your palms. Yet you learn quickly, because you must. One wrong move can mean years of humiliation. Among the other odalisques, you notice one girl who seems to take pleasure in pointing out your errors. She whispers when you stumble, smirks when you're scolded. Her name spreads fast, and you realize she has already chosen you as her rival. In the harem, friendships are quiet, but enemies are loud. You're 14, and the rhythm of the harem has become your world. The mornings begin with cleaning and sewing. You mend torn garments, polish brass trays, and sweep long corridors where your footsteps vanish into silence. In the afternoons, you practice music. The oud is heavy in your lap, the strings biting into your fingertips until calluses form. You also practice reciting poetry. Your voice soft at first, then steadier as the tutors push you harder. Your rival grows sharper as you improve. She tells the attendants that you're lazy, that you hide mistakes, that you whisper gossip. Once, she tips over an inkpot onto your finished embroidery, and when the overseer scolds you, she smiles from across the room. You begin to understand that surviving here means more than passing lessons. It means withstanding the quiet daggers of those who want you to fail. You're 15, and for the first time, you're chosen to serve at a palace banquet. The night is heavy with smoke from braziers, the air thick with roasted meats and wine. Noblemen recline on cushions while music fills the hall. You move among them, pouring drinks, your head bowed, every step careful. One slip could mean punishment, but you hold the tray steady, even as your hands shake. Your rival is there too. She whispers loudly enough for others to hear, mocking the way you carry the jug. When you almost trip over the hem of your robe, you catch her smirk. Yet something changes that night. A patron praises the way you recite a line of poetry, soft but clear, and the overseer nods in approval. The rival's smirk falters, just slightly. You realize that in this place, a single glance of favor can tip the balance of power. You're 16, and the routines have become second nature. You play the oud with more confidence. You pour tea with steady hands, and you recite poetry with a voice that carries across the chamber. Yet, with every step you take forward, your rival sharpens her efforts. She whispers that you're favored unfairly, that you flatter the tutors too much, that your place here is not earned. The overseer assigns you both to the same embroidery project, a deliberate test. You work carefully, choosing calm precision over speed. She rushes, trying to finish, but her stitching unravels when pulled. The attendants notice, and though no one speaks, the silence that follows feels heavier than words. Congratulations, you just climbed one rung higher in hell. The rivalry has turned into a quiet war, one fought not with blows, but with skill, patience, and reputation. You're 17, and whispers about you have started to reach beyond the harem walls. Patrons speak of your poise, the way you serve without error, the way your music lingers after the last note. This brings small gifts: a comb carved from ivory, a bracelet of glass beads, a ribbon of silk. Each one is noted by the attendants, tallied as signs of your rising value. Your rival cannot stand it. She ruins your robe before a recital, slicing the seam so it nearly tears when you bow. She pushes blame for broken glass onto you, smirking when the overseer frowns. Yet, something has shifted. Others begin to see her malice for what it is. When your robe is ruined, another girl lends you hers. When she spreads rumors, fewer believe them. Without meaning to, she has helped raise you higher, shaping sympathy into silent support. You're 18, and the rivalry that once seemed endless begins to lose its hold. Your rival still tries to wound you with tricks, but they no longer cut as deeply. You've learned how to endure without striking back, how to let her words pass over you, how to hold your posture so that others see composure instead of conflict. Each time she stumbles in her efforts, others see it for what it is. Their respect quietly shifts towards you. During a recital in the palace, you perform with calm confidence while she sits nearby, her hands clenched too tightly in her lap. The guests nod approvingly at your music. Attendants whisper to one another, and you feel the weight of eyes settling on you, not her. She watches in silence, her glare sharp but powerless. You realize that what she has truly given you is patience, discipline, and restraint, lessons she never meant to teach. Not long after, the harem mistress announces that she will leave. Rumors fly, some saying she's been promised to a minor official, others whispering she was sent away because she has failed to rise. On her last evening, you cross paths in the corridor. She stops, her eyes burning, searching for something to say, but the words never come. She only looks once, bitter and defeated, before walking on. That is the final time you see her. By year's end, you're no longer the newest girl, no longer the easiest target. She is gone, and you remain, steadier than before. The path ahead is no longer blocked by your shadow. You're 19, and whispers about you reach ears that matter. A provincial judge, older but wealthy, begins to notice your name. He attends recitals where you play, offers gifts through intermediaries, and requests your presence more often than others. The harem mistress takes note, and you realize that attention has shifted from rivalry inside the palace to interest from beyond its walls. Your rival cannot compete with this. For the first time, her glares hold no threat. The attendants focus on preparing you for visits, coaching you to perfect your manners, refining the way you bow, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself. What once felt like endless drills now feels like preparation for something larger. It's not freedom, but it is movement. And in a place where lives often remain locked in the same walls forever, movement itself feels powerful. You're 20, and the whispers finally turn into action. The provincial judge who has been watching you makes his intentions clear. He petitions through the proper channels, sending gifts of silk and coins to the harem mistress, requesting that you be released into marriage. Inside the harem, this is spoken of as a victory, proof that your training has brought real reward. The rival hears the news too. Her eyes burn when you pass, but she says nothing. Her silence is louder than words. For years, she measured herself against you, but now she understands she has lost. The attendants treat you differently as well, not as one of many, but as someone who will soon step beyond the walls. They polish your skills further, making sure you can carry yourself as a wife in a respected household. For the first time since arriving, you're told to imagine life beyond the lattice screens, to picture yourself walking the streets freely, not as property, but as a woman with a name. You're 21, and the doors of the harem open for you at last. Word spreads quickly through the palace that you're to be released into marriage, and the air around you shifts. Servants who once spoke to you curtly now bow with courtesy. The attendants who trained you in song and etiquette help you dress one final time, making sure your sleeves fall perfectly and your veil rests lightly across your face. They're proud, but they're also relieved. Each girl who leaves in marriage is a sign that the harem's long years of discipline can lead to something beyond its walls. The day of your departure is marked with a ceremony, though it is not lavish. You walk the corridors you paced nervously as a child, this time carrying yourself with calm dignity. Your belongings are wrapped in silk, fewer than you dreamed but more than you once owned. Every step echoes with the weight of change. The rival who tormented you for years does not appear, her silence the clearest admission of defeat. For the first time since you entered, the shadow of her schemes no longer lingers over you. The wedding itself is modest yet dignified, arranged with the approval of the palace and carried out according to custom. Lanterns hang overhead, their glow soft against the evening sky. Elders speak their blessings, their voices steady, while you sit beside the provincial judge who has petitioned for your hand. He treats you with courtesy, his manner formal but not unkind. You do not yet know what kind of life awaits, but you know it'll be different from the one you leave behind. After the vows, you bow deeply, and the attendants step back. No longer are you one girl among many, bound by rules and silence inside the palace walls. You rise as a wife, your future now tied to a household where your name will be spoken with honor. The path here has been long, filled with rivals, lessons, and moments of doubt. Yet, it has carried you to this point where survival has turned to respect.